How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Draft to the Future. I am one half of the team, Matt, and I'm doing my player updates. We're going to try to run through these. So, Fernando Mendoza against Maryland. I still affirm Maryland is a team you really don't want to play. Maryland is not a joke. He had what I would say is his second really bad interception. He was late on the throw, is what happened. He saw a guy pump faked, and that kind of indicated what he was about to do. And then that gave the corner a chance to drive on the ball. The receiver kind of, I'm not saying he slowed up on his route, but the ball position was toward the boundary. Usually, when you're picked off on a boundary throw, the ball's thrown behind and the corner cuts on the back end. The corner actually beat the receiver to the ball, even with the pump fake. So, not a great interception, but not the worst you could have thrown, and not one over the middle. He still went 14 to 21. Had some pretty critical runs. He still has almost double the 3.7 against 1.5 big time throw versus turnover worthy play. So, he did all right. He did get sacked off of only a couple pressures. So, not the best game for him, but we're talking about another romp. There weren't really a ton of throws, and he kind of used his legs on this one. He has 25 touchdowns for the year, so he's doing fine. His counterpart, Mikhail Kamara, so still not a whole lot of production. Only one sack the rest on this whole year. He had 5 pressures though, and he's got a run defense grade of 82.1. And let me see here. He ended with, he had a tackle. So he wasn't like the hugest factor in the game, but he did set the edge. It's just a little unfortunate that he's not getting the pressures or the sacks that you're really looking for. I got him at 32 pressures, which is on par. I like adding pressures and sacks because I don't see that big of a separation. I do think you need to get home more often, and he needs to get home more often. It's just not lining up for him. Tanner Kazoil, what do we got him at? 6 targets, 5 receptions, 1 touchdown. Just kind of Tanner Kazoil doing Tanner Kazoil things. That's just kind of what he is and why I'm so high on him. Eric O'Neill out of Rutgers. He had 4 pressures. One of them got home, was a sack. And he had a batted ball. So he was kind of, wrecking things for Illinois. He had a total of 45 snaps. His pass rush was 62. His run defense was 65. Just kind of solid. But to give you a comparison, he's got a combined 31 pressures, but 4 of them were sacks. So that just kind of shows you what he's kind of capable of and how he's kind of stepping up in a degree. If I had to compare the two, I'd say O'Neill is having more production, and O'Neill has a little bit more height. And so that's going to kind of help him if you're doing a side-by-side comparison. Unfortunately, Sam Levitt, he has an injury, so he's out for the rest of the year, and Tyson did not play. I don't know if he's out for the rest of the year. Oregon was on a bye, and Zane Durant, I gotta be honest, man, just a non-factor. So he had a few games where his grades were high, and I want to give credit where it's due, but I mean he's got 12 combined pressures and sacks. He's got 14 tackles, which isn't terrible, but he's just not producing. I still kind of think he's an outside linebacker, or an off-ball linebacker. He might need to lose a little bit of weight. Right now, he's kind of like when you're a shorter guy and you have a little more weight. If you can put a little more weight on him, short, stout guys make good nose tackles. But he's not producing in that range. So I don't I don't personally have a very high grade on him. I don't know if he had a redshirt year or not. If he does have eligibility, I'd go back. Otherwise, there's some upside to him, but I don't see him meeting his goals. And that's unfortunate when when the talent's there, but it's not coming together. Sorry, kicking my equipment here. So Jake Slaughter up against Georgia's D line, one of the better defensive tackles in college, in my opinion, and Kristen Miller. And like, dude balled out. He had his arguably okay. Look, he had a higher profile game against a team I don't like. I'm looking at the acronym and I still don't know what it means, but he had his best game against great competition. 78.2 overall, 72.9 run blocking grade, 83.6 pass blocking grade, no pressures, doing his job. I still think he's the number one center in the class. I still kind of got him at the number two. There's a fight for number two, but I'd have him as the number two interior lineman on my own personal board. So, I think the world of him. In fact, tune in if you watched the live last night as you're watching this, then you'll see kind of what I think of him and where I have him. Ken Green was on a bye. Chandler Rivers. I want to take this moment to tell you that Chandler Rivers still has only allowed one touchdown on the entire year. He's allowing more receptions, but he's still only allowed in 10 games on 19 receptions, 194 yards. So even though he's allowing receptions, usually 6 or 7 will get you 100 yards. He's allowed 19, and he's still under 200 yards receiving. So he's really kind of producing where he's at. I still kind of think he's not the first round conversation for me, but a solid day 2 pick. And he's just kind of a guy you want on the team. LSU was on a bye, so that's kind of it for me. An actually fast draft update. So hey, so we're looking into doing some more things, getting some good content coming up. If there's information you're looking for, let us know in the comments. I'm actually doing an interesting study where I'm looking at the height, weight, combine profiles of current starters in the NFL so that I can use that data to compare it. A lot of people, they're looking at, there's somewhere out there has got to be information because they're like, oh, he's in the 9th percentile or the 99th percentile. And that all makes sense to me, but I don't know where that data is as a way to compile. So just having it there and kind of letting people know where that's at is something I'm kind of working on. I'm chipping away on it. Ryan just did a great video on a comparison of PFF boards versus the consensus board. I tend to agree with them. The consensus board is more accurate to where they're going to go, but PFF is probably more accurate in terms of the correct ranking of players. At least that's an opinion I share with Ryan. Let us know in the comments in that video what you think of that one. So those are just a couple things that we've done and that we're heading toward. We just did a live. We got another one coming up in a couple weeks. So we hope you'll keep tuning in. We thank you guys. See you around. Love you. God bless. Bye.